And almost live. All right, live on YouTube. Hello, everybody. Dr. Dion Napier with Amplify Vocal Studio. If you are new to my channel, welcome, welcome. I am an 11-year university-trained classical singer turned commercial style voice coach, and I now help professional level opera singers and bel canto voice teachers learn how to sing and teach contemporary music styles without sounding operatic. So welcome to everybody here that is live. What's up, Aisha? I see Matt. Hello, and to you who are joining on YouTube. So today I want to talk about how to rehab your middle voice, and I'm specifically talking to opera singers and voice teachers who trained classically. Now you want to sing and teach commercial style music, honey, but that middle voice is just mushy, it's soft. You don't really know what to do with it, but you can hear in the contemporary music styles, you got to have more power and more cut, but you don't know the first steps. So today I want to walk you through my process to start reconditioning that mushy middle voice. Okay, so the first step, and this is going to be quick. Okay, I got like 10 or 12 minutes, so this is going to be real quick. The first thing that you want to do, plug, is get my free ebook. Let me go ahead and put that in there. My free ebook, right, is how to prepare classical voices for contemporary belting. All right, this is the prerequisite stuff that you got to do to your vocal cords before you can belt sustainably. So the first thing you want to do, ladies and gentlemen, is vocal fry. Okay, you want to do vocal fry, and you want to target that middle voice. So I primarily work with female singers. So for us, I'm talking the range like E4 to E5. That's that mushy middle, and it's like what's going on. So you want to target that area first with vocal fry. Vocal fry is gentle. Vocal fry is therapeutic. The goal of vocal fry is to recondition the inner edges of your vocal cords, which will give you an edgier, more pop sound aesthetic, right? Your cords won't sound so soft, so mushy, and so classical and so light like that. Okay, so an exercise that you can do in that middle voice. Actually, I'm gonna start lower because a lot of y'all's chest voice been stripped too, and that's affecting your commercial sound too. So we're gonna start in this chest voice, and you can do okay, so a word on vocal fry. Don't think about supporting the tone. I've had a couple of opera singers that I work with, and they struggle with vocal fry, and they're thinking about support. This is not that. You're not singing when you do vocal fry, right? It's just the chords are coming together really slowly on the edges, but I want you to just think about sound making. Don't think that you're singing, okay? This is one of the major mindsets that you have to have when you're crossing over from classical and opera into commercial singing, right? Everything is not all about your voice. Everything is not fully throated singing, right? You're crossing back over into contemporary sounds, which is just basic everyday sound making associated with singing. So you have to switch that on in your mind, okay? So you don't do too much when you don't need to. So again, this is vocal fry. You're not thinking about support. This is early morning groggy voice. No tension. I'll do one more. Okay, so if you try that, and if the arpeggiated pattern is kind of messing with you, you don't even need a piano. You can just do vocal fry slides. So right, imagine like a creaky door if you're opening a door, and this hand gesture will help you to get out of your mind as well. And just do some of those in that middle range area, and that will help to start rebuilding your middle voice. Okay, so the first is vocal fry. The second thing that you want to do is compression control exercises. Okay, so again, we're still targeting the vocal cord muscles, and when I say compression control, I'm talking about having intentional control and command over how loose, how balanced, or how tightly squeezed your vocal cords are. And opera singers, this is very, very important for us because a lot of times we default into one compression, right? Everything is loud, everything is forceful because we got to project, over an orchestra and in a hall with no mic and all of that. So we're usually, those cords are pretty firmly squeezed. But here's the thing. When you go to belt, if you overly compress the cords, the belt ain't gonna work. Okay, belting needs a balanced phonation. This is why you got to set up your balanced mixed voice before you do any type of belt styling on it. Okay, there is a process to this. So this compression control, again, is going to help you control how tightly squeezed or how loose your cords are. So when you're belting, if you're thinking of a dial from 1 to 10, and this is in my ebook, so DM me the word guide so I can send you the link and you can download the book and you can see this. But if you're thinking of a dial from 1 to 10, you want to always aim between 3 and 6. 1 and 2 is hypophonation. The cords are too loose. That's just breathiness. You can't really do nothing with that except for like style and effect, right? Then 7 to 10 is overly compressed. It's squeezed. And a lot of y'all think that belting requires that, but it doesn't. Belting requires that balanced phonation, which lands between like 3 and 6. But you want to gain control over those arytenoids to be able to squeeze a little more, squeeze a little less. You're controlling your intensity levels. All right. So the exercise that you can do to work on that. Let me see. I had a couple on here. You can start with an eval because that's the easiest. I didn't put a range. So I'll just start you right here. And it's going to be a gee, gee, gee. It's going to be balanced, really easy. So gee, 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 gee. Gee, 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 gee. Now you're aiming for a balanced coordination. You don't want it to be gee, 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 gee. It can't be that. But it also should not be gee, 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 gee. That's overly compressed, okay? So you want to find that balance. Those cords are coming together evenly and nicely, and you're exhaling through. This is another thing that we miss, and I used to miss it too, y'all. That's why I can talk about this stuff, because I've made the mistakes. Sometimes I'm still making them, okay? So when you're doing this compression control, you want to make sure that you're exhaling, you're gently exhaling through. Do not hold your breath, okay? Because that's going to push you over into that overly compressed vocal cord. So let that air gently exhale as you're doing this, okay? Next one. Kee, 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 kee. Control it. Kee, 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 kee. Take it up. Kee, 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 kee. Control it. Kee, 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 kee. So don't get louder as you go higher. So that's what you can do for compression control. Now, you started on the gee, and then you go back and you can switch it to more of a belt, more open vowel, so like a gag, gag, gag. So gag, 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 gag. Okay, it may feel like you're not doing much, but I promise if you will commit to that and learn how to get control over your compression levels, it will set you up to succeed when you add that belt dynamic on it or the belt styling. Okay, so that's compression control. The third thing that you want to do, and again, all of this is in my ebook, so DM me the word guide so I can send you your link to the free ebook and you can get all of these steps in there, okay? This is prerequisites to belting, how to strengthen your vocal cords. And then the next step is more of an acoustical step. You want to slap some twang on it, okay? So you've done that balanced phonation, training the vocal cords, right? And then the next thing you want to do, I usually say unlock your pharyngeal resonance. This is the same thing as that twang quality. Now, to classical singers, especially female singers, this is foreign to us. This is that crybaby, whiny, brassy, ugly kind of sound. Wah, 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 wah. right? We don't make that kind of sound in opera singing, but in commercial style, you have to have that, okay? So the first thing you want to do is just get used to that sound. You want to unlock it or open it up. And I typically do that with something like a quack, quack, imitating a duck, quack, quack, baby cries, wham, wham, that kind of stuff, okay? The key with the twang in your middle voice is this is the thing that's responsible for giving you stronger projection. So we lose that mushy, soft, fuzzy sounding middle voice that you can't do nothing with in a contemporary style context, okay? So we got the twang in addition to the reconditioned vocal cords. That's going to start to give you a different tone quality that sounds less classical, more modern, okay? I hope y'all are seeing how all of this is connecting, okay? So your twang is your projection. It's not you hyperextending chest voice. You can do that when you belt. But first, you got to just unlock the twang. All right. So this is how we do that. I'm going to do a duck exercise. So this one is quack, 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 quack. Quack, 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 quack. Quack, 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 quack. Now don't try to make this cute, okay? This is cartoon character, child's play, okay? So don't throw the goal out of your mind. This is not bel canto, okay? We're playing around, going back to the basic sound making, all right? So again, imitating it up. Quack, 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 quack. Quack, 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 quack. Now that's an E5. You don't have to go higher than that. Remember, I told you the range that we're strengthening is E4 to E5. So then you take it back down. Quack, 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 quack. Quack, 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 quack. Quack, 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 quack. So you're going to make it whinier than you think. It's not, that's what you're going for, okay? And you bring that down, and over time, you will start to notice that your middle voice has more projection, more ring, more ping, and it's stronger. It's not mushy, okay? So one thing that comes up sometimes is with the pharyngeal resonance emphasis, right? I'm telling you to make it whiny, make it brassy, because we need that. But you want to be careful as you're making this sound that your palate is remaining up, right? It's lifted. If you flatten the palate too much, quack, 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 right? It's going to make it more nasal. The cords are becoming overly compressed. It's jacked up. And I can tell y'all this because I did this for a long time, okay? So as you're doing the isolated pharyngeal or the twang exercises, keep the palate lifted. Quack, 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 not quack, 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 quack. You hear that space, right? And so you don't have to worry about sounding too classical with the palate raise because of the larynx position. What we're coupling right here in this twang is a raised larynx and a raised soft palate and a neutral larynx. When you have a raised soft palate and a lower larynx, that's when you get your classical hookup. Okay, so you don't have to fear sounding classical. As long as you keep that palate lifted and lean into that whininess a little bit, you'll get that twang activated. Okay, I got to hop off quickly. I got like 2 minutes. Any questions? Okay, she said, not me hitting the A5. Yeah, you can hit an A5 with this exercise, Aisha. One, because you have that range, but two, because the twang, it helps the cords to thin out and you can stretch on up there. You're not trying to take those thick folds higher than they're designed to go. So yeah, you can extend your range and go on up there and sing into the heights because you're letting the cords thin out like they need to as you go higher. So that's amazing. Okay, Lisa Williams, I see that you said, God, I need you to send that to me in a DM because I won't be able to see these comments after I end this live. So just send me a direct message and say, God, and I will send you a link. Any other questions? I hope this made sense. I know this kind of drive-by info. But like I said, it's in my guide. Yes, I have a YouTube page. I'm live on YouTube right now. It's Amplify Vocal Studio. DM the word God for my ebook. This ebook is exclusively for advanced level opera singers and classical singers. If you are a beginner or intermediate, do not DM me God, okay? I love you, but you don't have the background context for my audience that I'm talking to. And if you grab this and try to apply this without the foundations, you're not going to get the result, okay? So this is for advanced level opera singers, people who are already making money with their voice, people who already know how to sing. They've been through years of university training, but they're trying to expand out into a more commercial technique. I hope that's clear. Okay, Aisha, just DM me God. Okay, any questions on YouTube? I gotta hop off. I got somebody waiting on me. Replay watchers, thank you. You can DM me any questions or DM God if you would like my free guide. And that's it. Let's see, what's the name on the page? It's Amplify Vocal Studio. Amplify Vocal Studio. And again, my target audience is advanced level opera singers and bel canto voice teachers. I do not serve beginner or intermediate level singers. So when I say beginner, I mean if your registers are not established, if you don't have a built chest voice, head voice, middle voice, if you're struggling with pitch accuracy, I'm not the coach for you, okay? So if you follow me on YouTube, or if you follow me on here, or if you request my resources, just know that I am serving advanced level performers, okay? Not beginners and intermediate. All right, y'all, I got to hop. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. Y'all have a good one. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.